We have to discuss an urgent matter regarding the Long Island Railroad. This cannot wait. This needs to be talked about now because I am just distraught. I am irate. I mean, I'm not shouting at the top of my lungs, but it may have to result to that in this video if it agitates me even further. You know, I'm just beyond loss of words. So, there was a tweet that was back in September. At John Dilworth tweeted Long Island Railroad. You know, many riders on the Port Jefferson branch were shut out of autumn weekends because of the weekend closures and service cuts for autumn weekends, right? So you have the autumn weekends program that just started last weekend, right? Right? So here you go. Long Island Railroad monthly ticket holders travel anywhere system-wide. Will the main line have regular service for those weekends so main line monthly ticket holders can enjoy it? And then, the Long Island Railroad says, "Hi, John. Yes, the last mainline outage for this year will be on the weekend of October 5th and 6th for the removal and replacement of the Nassau Boulevard Merlon Avenue Bridge." All right? I'm not even going to get into that. We've talked about that. Okay? Okay? See what I mean? And again, they didn't plan ahead for Comic-Con. Should have planned ahead for Comic-Con. You know? They could have done the Merlon Avenue Bridge thing a couple weekends ago, or maybe even this weekend. I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion for another day. So, guess what was on page 83 of the Joint Metro-North Long Island Railroad Committee book? That's right. More mainline work. We were lied to. We were double-crossed. Look at this. Mainline expansion, Nassau switched installation. Again, folks, please, I am going to put the PDF. No, I'm just with the PDF. You know, it'll be hard to find this file because we're going to have to expose the MTA for what they really are. And I'm going to put two men who are responsible for these antics in just a second on your screen. They need to be talked about. So anyhow, it's part of the ongoing mainline expansion program, which again was supposed to resume in 2020, is now going to take place on the weekend of November 16th and 17th. How am I supposed to keep my P's and Q's knowing that we were double-crossed by the MTA? How is this acceptable? Look at this. Once again, both tracks of the main line will be out of service between New Hyde Park and Hicksville. Here's the problem with that. St. John's is playing in Carnesecca that weekend. How are people supposed to get to Jamaica? And by the way, I'm attending that game, just going on the record. How are people supposed to get to Jamaica and transfer to the Q30? Now people aren't going to have that option directly from the main line. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. They don't care that thousands of basketball fans are going to get screwed trying to get Fresh Meadows. They don't. And my attitude has just been so bad because me and Matt Camper, me and Pine Power LI have been all angry about this. Irate. Again, this is the same thing that happened in September, happened 2 weeks ago, and now this. I'm sorry, but I had to tape. I had to react because I'm just disgusted. Same plan again. They're making people do that stupid train that goes between Hicksville and Babylon. How stupid is this? I'm just at a loss. And then they're making people use the Hempstead branch. And then they're telling people, sorry, you're going to have to take bus service between Mineola and Hempstead. Where, again, it'd be much easier to take people to Garden City, let them get off at North 7th Street and Franklin Avenue and walk over to the Garden City train station. Much simpler option. Much simpler. But no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to tell people to go to a safe area like Garden City. No. No. Go to a bad area like Hempstead. Hempstead. You just can't make this stuff up. And then they're still going to run the Oyster Bay branch. Okay, what is this? It says Oyster Bay branch trains will operate between Oyster Bay and East Williston with bus service between... Unbelievable. So East Williston's also going to have bus service. I don't know how this plan even makes any sense. I don't know why they just can't cross on the N24 from Hicksville and Mineola and take people to Floral Park. You know, you don't have to send the buses on Tulip Avenue. You can at least tell people to walk. Not that far of a walk from Jericho Turnpike. Again, I'm just annoyed. Again, much simpler to just cross on the N24. Which, again, I'm going to have to bring this up in November. Because here's something idiotic about the November dates. I'm going to have to criticize the MTA for. Let's go back to it for a second. Guess when they're having the meeting? That's right. November 12th. Now, there's an issue with that. That's Veterans Day weekend. Not that many people might be able to attend the meeting. You never know. I don't know why they just couldn't have the meeting on November 18th. So stupid. And then December 16th. So that's the rest of the year. That's the rest of the year. And I'm assuming in January. I'm assuming we're probably going to have a meeting on January 27th. Because Martin Luther King Day would be on January 20th. So since Martin Luther King Day is a federal holiday, you know, now there's no meeting and I have to wait the week after, but it's whatever at this point. But again, they lied to a customer. If you were this customer, John Dilworth, you know, let's see if he's even tweeted today. Look at this. Look at this. He actually retweeted. He actually tweeted out. Here's what it says. Tweet was sent out at 2:18 p.m. today. And I quote, "Hi, I was told by the Long Island Railroad that there would be no more mainline outages for calendar year 2019. Does the hashtag Long Island Railroad stand by their previous statement? I was counting on your statement in making work plans." Look, Alfonso Castillo was tagged. I don't even know who this person is. Governor Cuomo was tagged. And again, we're gonna bring him up in just a second because I'm annoyed. I'm just completely distraught. So let's talk about these two men here. Let's talk about these two pieces of trash right here. On the left, you have our governor, Andrew Cuomo, who, by the way, said the N-word on the radio this past week, quoting a New York Times article. Which I censored out the curse word because I had to, you know, use my new censored noise now with the toy sound. So this guy gets away with saying the N-word. And he gets away with so much in the state. And then on the right, you have Wall Street billionaire, and again, he's from Wall Street, I looked up his background. He's actually used to work in the finance industry. We have Patrick Foy. And ooh, I don't want to say so many things about him. One thing I want to say about him, direct to his face, would be, and I quote, "Why are you here? What is your purpose here? You could be on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange or working for a banking corporation and leaving us alone right now and having somebody else who has more transit experience than you to be chairperson of the MTA." You know, this just really gets me antsy. And I'll quickly mention that there have been rumors online. That Andy Byford sent a resignation letter to the MTA. I'm quickly going to bring that up. All I will say in that regard is, if he's not there on Monday morning at transit, and I don't see him at finance on Monday, because I normally see him at finance, and something is off. That's all I'm going to go in that regard, but that had to be said because the Daily News had an article. I don't know who else wrote an article, but I'm not going to go with inaccurate information here. But I had to bring that up. So Andy Byford must be mad at this guy right here. Right? This guy, Andrew Cuomo. And he must be mad at this guy, Pat Foy. Just like how me, Pine Power LI, Matt Camper, Jason Pinero, Andy Quinto, Cuomo corruption. I can't even think who else is mad at these two right now. Not going to say who else, but you all get the point here. We're all mad at these two men. These two men. Oh, don't forget Andrew Lee. He's both mad at these guys too. Bring him up. We're all mad at these two men. These two men who don't care about our needs. And by the way, let's talk about somebody else who works for the banking industry before I wrap this all up, who I'm going to have to deal with. That's right. Lawrence Shorts, a.k.a. Larry Shorts. You know, I am just disgusted what's going on with the MTA lately. Hang on, let me just take a look and see if there's an updated... I read somewhere on the MTA website that Larry Shorts was actually... Here we go, I'm trying to look it up. So we're going to talk about him. Believe me, we're going to talk about him. And by the way, I'll just quickly mention for the record before I wrap up this video. Guess what, folks? Andy Byford, as of 10:38 p.m. on Friday, October 18th, 2019, is still listed as president of New York City Transit. And Craig Capriano is the acting president of New York City Buses. Alright? And by the way, I'm going to have to deal with this guy on Monday. Daniel DiCarlo. So again, here's Pat Foy. Alright? Look at this. See what I mean? Component of Standard & Poor's 500. So again, Wall Street crony. That's who this guy is. It's all employed by the governor. If you love Wall Street, the governor will love you. That's how it works in the state. So here's Kevin Law. This is somebody else who I am mad with. Look at this. Worked for LIPA. worked for LIPA. You know why I'm mad about LIPA? Because they screwed my friends in Long Island after Sandy. Can't make this stuff up. Just can't. International law firm. International law firm. So he's a lawyer. Law. How funny is that? Sorry to go on a tirade and roast these people, but they deserve it. Oh, and let's talk about the doctor. You know I can't do it in a 2-minute span. I have to be civil on Monday. Dr. Susan Metzner. Ay, 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 ay. PhD. PhD my butt. I'm a college dropout. You folks have to deal with me once a month. Where is Larry? Yes, him. Another crony of Andrew Cuomo. Yep. Airport Concessions Company. OTG. So he has experience in transportation. I'll give him that. But remember, all these people were all put in by Wall Street. Remember that. Joe Lhota, another crony of Wall Street. Tom Pendergrast. I don't know what I can say about him. And you know what's crazy about the MTA? Out of all the years the MTA has had all these chair people, not once we have had a woman, not once we have had a person of color. Do you know how controversial that sounds since the MTA has been around since 1968? That not one person, come to think of it, wow, look at this. Nobody even Jewish has been the... Again! Racism at its finest. I don't even want to get into that. But my point is, this gets me in a tirade. First things first, you all know what I have to talk about on Monday, and I tweeted this earlier. I'm going to talk to Larry and Kevin and suggest to them that we need a pilot program for Long Island Railroad homeless outreach. Because the city of New York has a plan. Because Larry brought up in July, oh, the governor recommended. We're talking about this man. This man. Governor Cuomo asked me to do a homeless outreach for our region. Yeah. Here we are in October, and we don't even have a homeless outreach plan for the Long Island Railroad. Again, why can't Long Island have what New York City has? I see homeless outreach all the time in Penn Station. But no, if I suggest this plan, Pat Foy is just going to wave it off. Well, I have to fight, folks. I have to fight for you in Long Island. You folks in Long Island. And I'm going to say the station specifically where this pilot should be. And I want to be fair to Kevin Law. I want to be fair to him. Because sometimes when you deal with these, banking people, and I'm going to call them that because, this is vocabulary coming from a college dropout. You deal with these people, you all have to understand one thing. That is, you have to be reasonable. So, Babylon, Wantua, Mineola, Hicksville, Bethpage. 5 stations. I'm being very reasonable with these people. I'm going to be very reasonable with these people. 5. Okay? 5. Being reasonable with 5 is very fair to the MTA, hopefully. I don't know what is at this point. I think I'm done here. I deserve to have 2 days to not worry about this nonsense. Come back to me with it on Monday, and I'll see you all then.